This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social. Delighted to be joined by Shane McGuigan. We're here at York Hall. We've just seen Chris Billam-Smith defeat Robin Dupree, so we'll start with that. What did you make of Chris's performance?
It was an okay performance. It was, he's hard to look good against Robin. He leans back a lot, very awkward, throws wide shots. So Chris wasn't at his best, to be honest. But once he started getting to use his jab after the second round, he started setting things up a little bit better rather than just going lunging in with the first big shot. But he had it in his head he was going to take him out. But that's always the times when you don't look quite as clinical.
Now, when we spoke about that fight before tonight, you said it was a good step up and a good test for him. Robin Dupree, as you say, is somebody who's difficult to look good against. How much do you think Chris will learn from this moving forward?
I think so, yeah, but I think it's also about learning in sparring. He's been having quality sparring the whole way through camp. He sparred cruiserweights, he sparred George, he sparred Boatsi as well, so he's been sparring good quality guys all round. So it's just about getting the rounds in now. And Robin Dupree was in a little bit of survival mode even off the bat, so it's always going to be hard to look good against guys like that. So I think we're going to see the best of him when he's in a live fight.
Got yourself another champion. Lee McGregor claimed the Commonwealth bantamweight title, 12th round stoppage victory over Thomas Asomba. What did you make of Lee's performance?
I think Luke Campbell, right, is 31 years of age and he's playing Barbie girl. We're talking about a 21-year-old champion here in Lee McGregor. Yeah, so no, I thought Lee was good. I thought to be honest, Asomba's got a great chin. He's very, very physically strong, and it's always going to be, once again, hard to look good against. He's coming in so low. Lee's obviously very big for the weight. Asomba's very small for the weight. He also spent half the fight in southpaw, which is what he did in his last fight, but we expected him to be orthodox. Obviously prepared for both. I thought he might have switched a little bit, but hard to get clean, and I think he got the stoppage in the end, but it was a physical, gruelling fight, one that I don't want him to be in too many of those physical fights, especially at 21 years of age, because you have physical wars at the domestic level and you won't reach the top. So he needs to be able to keep his distance, keep sharp over the distance. And listen, it's a massive step up what we've asked of him, but he's the guy that's willing to take the challenges, and I'm going to keep him at this level now for a while. Because there's better fights than that in the UK at domestic level, and I think he's got a lot of room for improvement, but he's on a fast learning curve, and I think you can't take too many negatives out of it. He got the stoppage, he showed he had gears late on in the fight, and it was a fantastic win for him.
Fight that he's been talking about before this fight and now afterwards when I spoke to him was the Cash Farouk fight for the British and the Commonwealth now. Is that the fight that you'd like him to take next?
Yeah, I think he's got the beating of Cash Farouk, but I think he needs one or two more learning fights. The problem with Lee is he's in a rush to get nowhere, and what he doesn't realise is once you get up to the top, you have to be prepared to stay there. So he has to linger at this Commonwealth, possibly fight for a British title in the next 6 to 12 months. But he'd fight in the morning again. We just have to hold him back a little bit, keep developing him. Physically as well, because he's obviously big for weight, but he can get a little bit stronger. He's getting pushed about a little bit on the inside, but we're not going to go naming any names, but I think in 1 or 2 fights time, it's a great fight for us.
And just finally, Chantelle Cameron, successful defence of her IBO World Lightweight title and picked up the WBC silver. Didn't really catch fire against Jessica Gonzalez. What did you make of her performance overall?
Very, very tough, sort of tricky. Groves is handing me her IBO.
It's not hers.
Oh, isn't it? Okay, it's Chris's IBO world title. So I thought Gonzalez was very tricky. Just once again, survival mode. Hard to look good against. Clash of heads early. Chantelle got cut. She was cut. I think Ian John Lewis had a tricky, hard night, breaking those two up all the time, and it's just one of those things. It's when you're at two fighters, scrappy on the inside, it's never going to look pretty. So the referee has to be very active, and it just was, it's not going to go down as fight of the year, but it's a win for us, and we can move on. And I think you're going to see the best of Chantelle Cameron whenever people are coming to win. Gonzalez was pretty obvious that she was going out there to survive, move around a little bit, try and wing an occasional shot. She caught Chantelle with a good left hook, right hand left hook, but Chantelle just brushed it off and went straight back in. these fights you can't take too much from, because you know they're scrappy and it's clumsy fights. So yeah, we want champions out there and big names, but and she can't overlook people like Gonzalez, and I feel like that might be the case tonight.
Okay, well, Shane McGuigan, the IBO trainer, champion of the world, thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you, appreciate it.